tell you my two favorite jokes. All right, first joke. Two kids are walking down the street, right, having a gay old time as they do, lollying about, and all of a sudden they come upon an abandoned brick factory. They're like, what the hell, let's go check it out. So they hop the fence, they're walking around, they're looking around, you know, piles of bricks everywhere as there is, and all of a sudden they come upon this a big old beautiful pile of bricks, just good classic American made bricks. And go capitalism. And so Billy turns to Jimmy and he goes, Jimmy, I bet I could throw a brick higher in the air than you could. And Jimmy says, Billy, there is just no way that's possible. And he said, even if it was, how would we even be able to judge that? And Billy says to Jimmy, well, there's a big old pile of mud right there. So if you throw your brick up in the air and it lands in the pile of mud, whoever sinks deeper must have gone higher up into the air, right? And they're like, all right, yeah, sure, that makes sense. So Jimmy's like, all right, I'll start. So he goes over, grabs a nice rose-colored brick, good brick. Does a couple stretches, hurls it up in the air, goes 2 feet into the mud. And Billy's like, well, I know I can do better than that. So Billy grabs a nice beige-colored brick, you know, good solid brick. Does a couple arm stretches, couple leg stretches, hurls it up in the air, goes 4 feet into the mud. And he goes, see, I told you. And just then, their friend Mary was walking down the street. They're like, Mary, get over here. So Mary hops the fence, comes in, she's like, hey, what's up, guys? And they explain the contest to her, right? And Mary's like, oh, you guys, I could throw a brick up in the air and it would go 10 feet into the mud. And they're like, you are just bodacious. That is not true. And so she's like, all right, watch this. So she scours around the old abandoned factory for a while until she finds a good, solid, mahogany-colored brick, right? Just a beautiful brick. And so she does a couple stretches, couple of these, you know, couple of these. Really stretches herself out good and deep. So she picks up the mahogany-colored brick, does one more stretch, winds up, throws it up in the air. Second joke. So, a woman is taking a flight to Paris, right? And she's on her way to Paris, and she's sitting there in the terminal, right? And she had to book the flight really fast because her mother is dying. She's on her deathbed. And it was on some weird discount airline she had never heard of before. But then she noticed there's a little sign on the gate that says there's only 2 rules on this airline. No smoking and no parrots. All right? And she's like, damn, what am I supposed to do? I gotta bring my pet parrot to see my mom. She loves it. She would love it to see. That'd be the last thing she saw, you know. So she kind of looks around, makes sure nobody's checking. She got there nice and early, you know, good responsible traveler. TSA pre-check, all that good stuff. She's making sure nobody's looking at her. Grabs the parrot and sticks under her coat. Real tranquilo, right? And so everything's good, you know, she boards the plane, sits down, plane takes off, she's sitting there all good, and they get up to cruising altitude, everything's fine. And all of a sudden the pilot comes out of the cockpit smoking a big old stogie, right? Just massive. And so he's going around like, oh, how's the flight going? Can I get you a pillow, get you a drink, anything, you know, as they do on the discount airline without parrots. And finally he gets to the woman, and he goes, hi, ma'am, how's your flight going? And she says, oh, great, thank you. And under the trench coat you hear, oh, great, thank you. And he's like, what was that? And she's like, oh, it was nothing. And then you hear, oh, it was nothing. And he goes, is that a parrot? Reaches in, grabs the parrot, opens up the emergency escape, throws the parrot out the window, or out the emergency escape, closes it back up. Woman is crying, people are screaming, babies are losing their minds. It's a big fiasco. Nobody can get the situation under control. The woman is just bawling hysterically. Her parrot is dead. Her mother's about to die. It's a big fiasco. And when she finally collects herself, she goes up to the pilot and she goes, if I can't have my parrot, you can't have your cigar. Reaches in, pulls it out of his mouth, goes open, opens the emergency hatch, throws it out again. Creates more dysfunction. The place is just a freaking mess, right? Everybody's screaming, crying. Pilot doesn't know what the hell to do, so he just storms back to the cockpit. And he's sitting there so mad he can't even tell the co-pilot what the hell's going on. So he's just sitting there all angry, and about 20 minutes later he's calmed down, and they're there, they're almost to Paris. And all of a sudden he hears a little on the window. And he's like, what the fuck? And he looks out the window, and the parrot's standing there on the windowsill, and he's like, what the hell? And the parrot opens its mouth, and you know what's in there? The brick.
Oh my god, what?
That is a classic. Can you think of a better way to kill,
Oh my god.
I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes?